Where there's mounting pressure on global leaders to tackle inequality and poverty. Today is International Day for the Eradication of Poverty, and poor communities continue to be the most at risk from COVID-19. Those living in conflict zones face the most severe threat of hunger. So to expand on this, we're speaking now to the Deputy Minister of Social Development, Minister Hendrietta Bogopane-Zulu. Minister, thanks a lot for joining us this evening. Now, global stats would reveal that over 1 billion people live in poverty, that citizens living in developing nations live on less than 20 rand a day. It's about $1.25 a day. So how are we faring as a nation in meeting the theme for 2020 of achieving social and environmental justice for all?
I think we were on track, but with COVID and the job losses, as well as our inability throughout the lockdown to actually implement your environmental programs as has planned, has set us back and actually increased the poverty line for South Africans. And I think that is one of, I would say, opportunities, but at the same time, an area that we need to elevate and look at in terms of giving effect to meeting the targets within the remaining 3 months of 2020.
We'll talk a little bit about the practical implementation of meeting some of those targets that you're speaking about. But an Oxfam report revealed in 2019 has indicated that over 30 million South Africans live in poverty. And when you have to look at it, it's also showing that I think it's over 25% of the population are in extreme poverty. And the figures, as you've mentioned, Minister, are on the increase. Where are we getting it right and where are we getting it wrong?
I think one of the advantages South Africa has, we do have a social protection floor, which is what SASSA is doing. So a lot of nations don't have that. So in a way, South Africa has managed amongst a number of nations to reduce child poverty, which was amongst the biggest in the country. So that is one of the things. But also you have a lot of different schemes that a lot of, in particular, developing countries don't have. So when we look at what is the social protection floor, because when we analyze all of these reports, whether it's your Oxfam report that you just quoted, whether it's the World Bank report, one of the things that we look at is what is the social protection floor, what is the net that is actually catching the poor, and how is it that the GDP fares against all of the programs when we put them together. Not only the cash transfers in terms of the grants, but the basket of services actually does reduce poverty in the real sense of the word.
Let's get to this issue around black female South Africans who bear the worst when it comes to poverty, because more than half of them right now, according to stats, are unemployed and they live below the poverty line. So one would say that sustainable strategies are actually needed to tackle this growing phenomena. So what do those strategies look like from a departmental perspective? Women are at the back foot, Minister. I'm sure you can appreciate the fact that we need to do less talking and start more action.
Agreed, 100%. Women throughout the world and in South Africa are the face of poverty. And because women were the face of poverty, it comes with a lot of other social structural drivers, because then women are dependent. And I think on Thursday, we appreciate that one of the elevations which excites us as the Department of Social Development in the stimulus package the President presented is the 40% procurement that will be focused on women-owned businesses, and the 30% that will be focused on women-owned cooperatives, which is our area of expertise as the department in terms of women economic empowerment. And we are now at implementation state, and today was one of the areas where we showcased your new technologies and innovation in agriculture and food security, where we brought women and young people together who actually have who uses land to actually ensure that they've got food security, but at the same time saved their bits of the very social grant to actually begin to turn that into real money and them no longer benefiting from social security, but being able to actually be employers. And that is what we were showcasing today as giving hope to women and to young people that the future is actually brighter when we work together as communities.
Yeah, I mean, the future is definitely brighter when it comes to, looking at the South African context, Deputy Minister, but unfortunately, the reality is that the present is looking bleak. And if we're going to actually go towards a brighter future, let's tackle this bleak present right now. So, for example, there's a consideration of the COVID-19 relief grant being extended, right? Right now, we know that it has been extended for the next few months, but are we looking at providing it and making it really this universal grant that South Africans have got a leg up when it comes to being able to receiving something at the end of the month? So beyond this extension, to tackle this poverty crisis that we're speaking about, is this going to become a practicality or reality in the South African context that indeed South Africans, particularly those that are living in poverty, are going to see that 350 Rand or even more a month as just a universal standard?
You would appreciate that one of the things is we are, as the department, jointly with the Department of Labour and Employment, facilitating the issues around the basic income grant. But we also need to appreciate that South Africans are tired of handouts. They want jobs. South Africans want skills. South Africans want to be able to go out there and make it. So our core responsibility as government is to create the jobs. And we appreciate the fact that the 3 months extension gives South Africans another opportunity to actually have at least something in their hand while we reverse the impact of COVID. So for us at social development, we're not actually spending time saying, let's get more 350. We're busy making sure we work ourselves out of a job by increasing the number of job opportunities and real jobs for South Africans while we reduce access to social grants. Because now where I come from, I don't know what to say it in English, but that is our obsession. And that was how we marked the day today, to actually showcase some of our community development, community self-sustainable livelihoods. And communities are ready to say we appreciate government's social security, the social protection floor, but we want more.
Yeah, and rightfully so, a citizenship should want more, particularly during this time. We have to leave it there. Deputy Minister Hendrietta Bogopane-Zulu, Deputy Minister of Social Development, just giving us context around, as we really look at poverty eradication, and it's the International Day of Poverty Eradication, how exactly it fares in the South African context.